That's fine. Please be seated. Thank you. Okay, you both okay, ready to go? You can hold hands. You're almost married. My name is Claire Waddle, and I've been authorised by the Registrar General to conduct civil marriages. Conducting marriages is a great privilege. Every wedding is unique and special. I'm delighted I get to be a part of Thomas and Venus's special day. Thomas and Venus are here today to declare their love, and you have all been invited to witness this happy occasion as you have in some way touched these two people's lives. Before we begin the ceremony, I'd like you to confirm your full names. Thomas, can you confirm your full name?
Thomas Alexander Herd.
Thank you. And Venus?
Venus de Salit Levardo.
Thank you. Marriage is an important and serious occasion that is a defining moment in a couple's life. At the heart of the ceremony are the legal and binding statements made publicly by you, declaring that there are no obstacles to your marriage and confirming your intention to accept each other as husband and wife. You've both observed the legal requirements by giving public intimation of your intended marriage, and there's been no legal reason shown why the marriage cannot take place today. So always a very good start. Thomas and Venus love movies and are fans of Studio Ghibli. I'd like to share a reading with you all that reflects this to start the ceremony. In the spirit of the ever-turning seasons, you promise to stand by each other through the winds of change, just as Howell and Sophie face their trials together. Whether it's the sunny day or a stormy night, you will be each other's shelter and constant. Like the magical forest spirits, you will be each other's protector and defender, safeguarding each other through the battles and embracing the beauty that resides within. Your love, like the ancient trees, will weather the ages, standing tall in the face of time. In the gentle breeze of your shared laughter and in the silent moments where words are not needed, you'll both cherish the subtleties of your love, much like the quiet charm of the whisper of the heart. Your connection is a melody that will echo through the corridors of time. As Chihiro faced the mysterious and magical world of Spirited Away, you will walk hand in hand with each other through the unknown journeys that life may bring. Together, you'll navigate through the enchanted landscapes, finding strength in your shared adventures. With a playful spirit, you promise to be each other's companion in joy and sorrow. In the rain and in the sunshine, your love will bloom like Mai and Satsuki's friendship, resilient and everlasting. In the tapestry of your shared dreams, you will be the Howl to each other's moving castle. Together, you'll create a haven of love and magic where the mundane is transformed into something extraordinary. Just as Kiki soared through the skies on her broomstick, you promise to encourage and support each other's dreams, helping you reach new heights. Like the luminous lights in the night sky of Grave of the Fireflies, your love will be a beacon of warmth and comfort in times of darkness. In joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, you choose each other as lifelong companions in this grand adventure called life. Now, Thomas and Venus, it's one of life's richest surprises when the accidental meeting of two individuals leads them to proceed together along a common path. It is indeed one of life's finest experiences when a chance relationship grows into a permanent bond of love and commitment. This meeting and this growing are what bring us here today. So as Bilbo Baggins said to Frodo, it's a dangerous business going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. Love is much the same. It's dangerous to fall in love with someone. You never know where it might take you. So Thomas and Venus have been together since 2018. They initially met through a joint love of movies. After being together for roughly 4 years, Thomas proposed to Venus during a snorkeling adventure. I believe underwater proposal. And after Venus made 100% sure that Thomas was sure of his proposal, Thomas got his yes. And this has now brought us all here today to celebrate this couple joining together. What you mean to each other is obvious. You're united in love, friendship, and respect. Marriage is a defining moment in any couple's life, a sign of the depth of their commitment to each other. It's a promise of hope, not only that two people love each other, but also that they trust that love. Marriage is also an opportunity for the two of you to share your lives in a truly special way. It's a relationship based on mutual love, respect, trust, and honesty, in which each of you tries to bring out the best in the other, and one which we all hope will enrich your lives. Before Thomas and Venus are joined together in marriage, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you of the solemn, the serious, and the binding nature of the relationship into which you're now about to enter. According to the laws of this country, marriage is the voluntary and full commitment of two people to the exclusion of all others. It is made in the deepest sense and is entered into with the desire, the hope, and full intention that it will last for life. And now comes to the part of the ceremony where you, Thomas, and you, Venus, will confirm your declarations and marriage vows to each other. So if I could ask you to please face one another and join hands if you want together. Okay? And Thomas, please repeat after me. I, Thomas, do solemnly declare.
I, Thomas, do solemnly declare
That I know of no legal objections.
that I know of no legal objections
To my marrying Venus.
to my marrying Venus.
Venus, if you could please repeat after me. I, Venus, do solemnly declare.
I, Venus, do solemnly declare
That I know of no legal objections.
that I know of no legal objections
To my marrying Thomas.
to my marrying Thomas.
Thank you. Thomas and Venus have decided to include the ancient Celtic tradition of hand fasting in their wedding ceremony to reinforce the feeling that they never wish to be parted from one another, symbolising that they are bound together not just for a lifetime, but for eternity. So in Scotland until the mid-1700s, marriages were celebrated by a simple hand fasting ceremony in which the two partners joined hands. The couple would link hands to form an infinite circle, and then their hands or wrists would be bound together, symbolising the binding together of their two lives into one. And it's from this practice the expression tying the knot probably comes from. So, we'll look at this. If you could hold your right hands. Yeah. Tuck that bit on for you, Thomas. And if you could just tuck that bit in your thumb there, Venus, if you could get there. And just stay like that, just like, okay? The couple have chosen their vows today, and we will now commence with the vows. Do you, Thomas, promise to give Venus the best of yourself and ask of Venus no more than she can give? Do you promise to keep yourself open to Venus, to let Venus see through the windows of your world? Do you promise to love Venus with all you have to give and all that you feel inside in the only way you know how, completely and forever?
I do.
And do you vow to cherish Venus every day, to hold her hand through the trials and triumphs, and to always be her biggest supporter? Do you promise to listen to Venus with an open heart and to speak to Venus with honesty and kindness? Will you celebrate Venus's victories and stand by Venus in her challenges, knowing that together you can both overcome anything?
I do.
And Venus has taught you the meaning of unconditional love, and for that you're eternally grateful, I'm sure. Do you promise to love Venus not only for who she is today, but for who she will become? Will you strive to be the partner Venus deserves, to grow alongside her, and to create a life filled with laughter, adventure, and love?
I do.
Thank you. Do you, Venus, promise to give Thomas the best of yourself and ask of Thomas no more than he can give? Do you promise to keep yourself open to Thomas, to let Thomas see through the windows of your world? Do you promise to love Thomas with all you have to give and all that you feel inside in the only way you know how, completely and forever?
I do.
Do you vow to cherish Thomas every day, to hold his hand through the trials and triumphs, and to always be his biggest supporter? Do you promise to listen to Thomas with an open heart and to speak to Thomas with honesty and kindness? Will you celebrate Thomas's victories and stand by Thomas in his challenges, knowing that together you can both overcome anything?
I do.
Thomas has taught you the meaning of unconditional love, and for that you're eternally grateful. Do you promise to love Thomas not only for who he is today, but for who he will become? Will you strive to be the partner Thomas deserves, to grow alongside him, and to create a life filled with laughter, adventure, and love?
I do.
Well, you may now tie the knot if you would like to keep hold of your little bits with your thumb and peel your hands apart. Oh, there's your, hang on, there's your little bit for your thumb through there, Venus. There we go.
It's tied.
It's tied, yeah, we've tied the knot. The knot of this binding is not formed by this material, but by the promises you've made to each other today. Although you're separate trees, your roots have grown together and your branches have become intertwined. As J.R.R. Tolkien described in this poem to his wife Edith, I'd like to share this with you now. Lo, young we are, and yet have stood like planted hearts in the great sun of love so long. As two fair trees in woodland or in open dale stand utterly entwined and breathe the airs and suck the very light together, that we have become as one, deep-rooted in the soil of life and tangled in the sweet growth. And now the moment has come for you to enter into your marriage by the exchanging of rings. So Venus and Thomas, your wedding rings are a symbol of the unbroken circle of love, perfect in form, without beginning or end. Thank you. So 2 rings to rule them all, 2 rings will find them, 2 rings to bring them all, and in this marriage bind them. So if I could have the rings, please. If you want to just pop them on here, please. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. So Thomas, please take the ring and place it on Venus's finger and repeat after me. I would rather share one lifetime with you.
I would rather share one lifetime with you
Than face all the ages of this world alone.
than face all of the ages of this world alone.
I, Thomas,
I, Thomas,
give you this ring
give you this ring
as a seal to the vow
as a seal to the vow
I have made here today.
I have made here today.
Let it be a symbol of our love
Let it be a symbol of our love
and life together forever.
and life together forever.
So Venus, if you could please take the ring and place it on Thomas's finger and repeat after me. I would rather share one lifetime with you
I would rather share one lifetime with you
than face all the ages of this world alone.
than face all the ages of this world alone.
I, Venus,
I, Venus,
give you this ring
give you this ring
as a seal to the vow
as a seal to the vow
I have made here today.
I have made here today.
Let it be a symbol of our love
Let it be a symbol of our love
and life together forever.
and life together forever.
Thank you. As a seal to the love you've declared for each other, for the marriage you're now about to enter with each other, may these rings always remind you of the vows you've taken today. So we've heard you promise to share your lives in marriage. Into this marriage you bring a promise to love and respect each other always, to give your support and help whenever you may need it, and promise never to take each other or what you have together for granted. So I have one final question for you both. So Thomas, do you take Venus to be your wife?
I do.
And Venus, do you take Thomas to be your husband?
I do.
So So following the binding declarations which you've made before me and in the presence of your family and friends, it now gives me great pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride. We'll sign the marriage schedule now. Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, if you could please bear with us a few more moments as we sign the marriage schedule, and then we will close the ceremony. If you want to come and have a little seat. Cathy, this is yours, thank you. It's an interesting knot. Yeah, it was a knot. Right, okay. Thomas, if you want to sign just in here, just your usual signature, whatever you normally sign. And is it T. Herd or Thomas Herd? What does it actually say?
It says Thomas Alexander Herd.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just so I know when I get back to the office. And Venus, if you sign so you still sign your usual signature just now, your maiden name. Thank you. If we could have John and Michelle.
Yeah, so
John and Michelle, please. Where's Michelle?
Michelle's just sitting at the marriage.
Oh. I'll just kind of let you. So, John, if you could please sign just in there. There we go. You made it then. Yeah. And then Michelle, if you want to just sign in there. That's lovely, thank you. Do you want to do some photos? Yeah.
Decide if you can.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to close the ceremony, I'd like to share a reading from Captain Corelli's mandolin for the newlyweds. Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots were so entwined together that it's inconceivable you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness, it's not excitement, it's not the promulgation of promises of eternal passion. That's just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love is burned away, and this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground, and when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one tree and not two. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you all to please be upstanding and be ready to give it a big round of applause, as it's my pleasure and privilege to introduce for the first time Thomas and Venus as the new Mr. and Mrs. Heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the bride and groom cut the cake, we have Craig who's doing our wedding blessing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Balbirnie House Hotel. It's a wonderful venue to celebrate Venus and Tom's union and marriage, and it's my great pleasure and honour to have been asked here today. To Venus's mum and dad, Gandan Ham Bon, and I'm sorry if that's wrong, but welcome to Scotland. As we gather here to celebrate the sacred bond of marriage, we're thankful for the love that has brought us together. Join me in blessing this joyful occasion as we celebrate Venus and Tom's happiness and their commitment to each other. May loving grace continue to guide them on their journey of love and unity. Let this celebration reflect the joy and blessings that come from their divine love. A marriage is an enormous commitment that brings two lives together to become one. Venus and Tom, you have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. You decided to marry from that moment of saying yes to this moment of saying, I do. You have been informally making promises and agreements, all of these conversations that you held while going about your daily lives, such as when we're married, and continued with, I will, you will, we will. Those late night talks that included someday, somehow, maybe. All these promises which were unspoken, They are matters of the heart. All these things and more are the real process of a wedding. The symbolic vows that you made today are a way of saying to one another, you know all the things we've promised and hoped and dreamed? Well, I meant them, all of them, every word. As you look at one another, remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another: acquaintance, friend, companion, lover, dancing partner, and even teacher. For you have learned much from one another in these last few years. Today you shared words and vows that take you across a threshold of life, and things will never quite be the same between you now. For now you shall say to the world, this is my husband, this is my wife. I would like to read a poem for you now entitled An Uncommon Love. May you have the love only two can know. May you go where only two as one may go. May the sun rise and set in your bonded hearts, and the moon never find you too long apart. May you cherish each other's dreams as your own, and turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. May you brave life's mountains and miles together. May there be no storm your love cannot weather. May you always be lovers and allies and friends. May your soul's conversations never end. May you capture on earth what's in heaven above, and may your hearts know the rapture of an uncommon love. Ladies and gentlemen, Venus and Tom's uncommon love starts here today, and we are privileged to witness this union. It is often said that love makes the world go around. However, without a doubt, friendship keeps it spinning on an even keel. True friendship nurtures our hopes, supports us in our disappointments, and encourages us to reach our full potential. Venus and Tom came together as friends. Today, they pledge to each other not only their love, but also their strength, warmth, and most importantly, true friendship. Please join me in wishing Venus and Tom every blessing for health, wealth, and most of all, happiness and love in their future as husband and wife. Thank you. Venus and Tom. Thank you. Congratulations.
Can we get you from this way?
Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom are just about to cut a cake. If anybody would like to take any photos, please do so now.
You ready? Do we go the whole way? Yeah! I need to take this flower off.
Yeah.
Terrible. No, no.
That's fine.
Yeah? Okay, one slice? Okay.
A round of applause for the bride and groom.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for speeches, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce the first speaker of the day, which is the groom, Tom.
Thank you. We are now live from Balbirnie House. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the chapel as much as we did. And welcome to Balbirnie House, a classic example of Greek revival architecture, remodelled by Richard Crichton. And if you know your Scottish architecture, he also did the Royal Bank of Scotland in the Mound in Edinburgh. And if you know even more of your architecture, he was taught by Richard Adam, who was the son of William Adam, who was a really famous Scottish architect. And he did another local country house, Leslie House, just down the road. And if you look at the window, oh, sorry, wrong talk, apologies. I just want to say thank you for joining us today. I would love to acknowledge those who've travelled really far to be here. We have guests from the Philippines. Yeah. We have guests from Dubai. We even have guests from London, Ireland, yeah. Logelly. Yeah. Oh, Canada. Great. No, that doesn't count. That's okay. And what I would like to say is today's not just about looking forward, but also about reflection. When me and Venus first met, we didn't talk much. Our first date, we went to the cinema and we ate together in complete silence. That might sound weird, but actually, we were comfortable in each other's company right away. It wasn't until the third date that we began speaking to each other, and that's when she realised she had no idea what I was saying. Since then, we've been learning each other's languages. I have a professional tutor in Tagalog, and Venus has been watching episodes of Tuna Fat and Still Game. So, diba? Yeah. I would just like to make some acknowledgements, so please bear with me. Nakuna man, puruna lang English. Magta Tagalog na naman ako. Wow. Oh. Gusto ko manang magpasalamat sa lahat. Napakaganda na raw po sa inyong lahat. Parang kailan lang talaga nung unang pumunta ko sa bahay ninyo ni Venus sa Carmona. Aba, ang init ng pagtanggap niyo. Si tatay, umakyat niya ng puno para kumaha ng bagong buko. Ang sarap, grabe. At si nanay naman, ang sarap magluto. At yung sorpresa niya, nung nasa Tagaytay tayo, grabe. Sariling jeepney pa ang binili na para sa akin. Pero, ang laruan lang. Napakaswerte ko. Talaga? Diba? Yeah. So I was just welcoming Venus's family for the warm welcome that they gave me when I went to the Philippines, the trips they took me. And syempre, hindi rin natin makalimutan ang mga kapatid ni Venus. Yeah. Oy, ang mga babaeng ito. Grabe. These are Venus's sisters. I'll just introduce them quickly. We have Bernalisa, the master of lechon. We have Vanessa, who can outdrink any man here with Guinness. I promise you. And we have Blanche, who brings elaborate ball gowns to camping trips, believe me. Very nice, very nice. We can't forget the sisters back home. Vivian, who has the curliest hair in Southeast Asia. And we have Beverly, who is the queen of cooking samgyup. And obviously the extended family, again, thanks for the trips that you took us to Ilocos, the famous Empanada Trail. So what I would just like to say, it was in Philippines, we developed our shared passion, which was for snorkeling. We discovered it on Palawan, which is a beautiful island home to many secret beaches, one of which is where Alex Garland wrote his best-selling novel, The Beach. So it is actually while we were snorkeling that I proposed to Venus, while we were in Dubai. That afternoon, we'd been in the water all afternoon. I had the ring tied to my swimming trunks. And when the sun began to set on the island, I thought it was a beautiful moment, so I untied the ring. Suddenly a sea turtle swam by, stealing Venus's attention. So we're both swimming back to back in the Gulf of Oman, shouting at each other to turn around. Eventually, the sea turtle left, and I presented the ring in front of Venus's face, and she almost drowned. So we eventually made it back to a stony beach where Venus gave me the traditional "Are you sure?" I think today puts any concerns to bed. I was very sure. So here we are. Just to make some acknowledgements from some of the more local team that are here. Thank you to my brother John for putting on a shirt today. Thank you, and his partner Michelle, who provided the beautiful cake. We also have my nephews Kai and Jay, who at age 20 and 18 respectively, they've both ordered the kids' meals. But I can't thank them enough for how they've welcomed Venus and our sisters and our family and helped, especially over the last week, in our adventures around Scotland. Obviously, thank you to all of my friends who are here. We've got Dave, who managed to put on a pair of shoes, which is good. We have Sean Cassidy, who managed to bring the gang's adopted mother, Mary, with us, so thank you for that. And we have Mark, who's had a couple of drinks and seen a couple of things. Yep, good. And not forgetting Sean, Duddy, Callum, Paul, who have missed the King of the Iron Fist tournament to be here today, so thank you guys. Thank you all for being there. Also, thank you to my university friends, particularly Don, who's made it over from Ireland, and obviously the Tayside power couple, DJ and Sophie. Thank you so much, and all the other friends who have made it. I just want to say one thank you to someone who isn't here. Thank you to my mother, and I'm happy that my mother got to meet my beautiful wife Venus. She might not meet our kids, but I will teach everything that she taught me, pass on such things as compassion for others, slowing things down and enjoying life. So thanks to Jasmine. Can we do just a quick toast to Jasmine? To Jasmine. Thank you. I will now turn to my beautiful wife and tell you what's so special about her.
No.
As you can see, and you've probably noticed all day, she has a smile that never quits, and that's a character that shines throughout her personality. She is an absolute joy to be around. She brightens up my day every day. She has an absolute knack for being really good at something she tries first time. Whatever recipe she cooks, it always tastes great. Her banana bread is unmatched. And even other activities. We took an airsoft match, which was a team death match in sniper mode, and she finished top of the table and I was 0. So she's good at sniping. We'll just do another quick one to Venus, my beautiful wife. To Venus, thank you. As a humble hobbit once said, the greatest adventure is what lies ahead, and I very much look forward to adventuring with you. Lastly, just like to say thank you to everyone who's been here today. Venus has introduced me to a more social life, something I've never really been used to. So to both existing family and friends and new family and friends, not forgetting my best man, who without Shane, without the sight of seeing him sitting there in his boxers, tops off, balancing a can of Pringles on his belly, I probably would have never left our shared apartment to go and meet Venus. Yeah. So to all friends, family, old and new, cheers to all of you. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Thank you. I will now hand over to my best man, Shane.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations to Tom on an amazing speech. Just made my life a lot harder. I thought I'd have drank more by the time I was going to be making this speech. I also thought all you would have drank a lot more by the time I'd be making this speech. So bear that in mind when I give it. For those of you who don't know me, I've done my best to kind of make the rounds during the day and introduce myself. I haven't met half of you. I'm Shane. I'm Tom's pal. We met back in Dundee in 2006, studying architecture together. We bonded over a shared love of drinking really cheap whiskey and playing really terrible pool. And 18 years later, the whiskey's a lot better. We're still both terrible at pool. But here we are. And I guess, in a way, I have a bit of an inside track onto Tom and Venus's relationship, as I was there when it all happened. So I'm sure all of you have seen the really amazing website they set up for the wedding. And some of you may have even read the story about how they met. So I'll ask, who would like to hear the real story? From someone who was there. So we're going to go back to 2018, when Tom first moved to Dubai and was living the dream. And by living the dream, I of course mean sleeping on an inflatable mattress on the floor of my tiny studio apartment, watching me tops off eating Pringles in front of the TV.
Yeah, agreed.
So it was on that floor that I'm pretty sure Tom realised he needed to get a girlfriend. Tom's not a bad-looking fella, and it didn't take long before he had a few dates lined up. So Tom's first Saturday rolls around, and in a record 2 hours, Tom got his hair just right, got the perfect outfit picked out. Tom headed out the door. 1 hour later, Tom was home, alone. Now, I will say this was not Tom and Venus's first date. This was just Tom's first date in the UAE. And Tom was unfamiliar with the dating scene of Dubai. And when he came back, the only way I can really describe how he was shell-shocked. Like a man who was just returned from the front line. So I asked, what are you doing back so early? And all he could say is, that lassie was absolutely crazy. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's two types of crazy. There's a good crazy and a bad crazy. So I had to ask, you talking about the bad crazy? Tom just went, aye. And I said, well, was it a waste, or are you at least going to go and see her again? Tom said, no. And we didn't realize it at the time, but we had actually established a routine that would last far longer than either of us thought was going to last. Saturday would roll around, Tom would head out, and quite quickly, Tom would be home. And I'd ask, was she crazy? Tom would go, aye. I'd say, well, are you going to see her again? Tom would go, no. And then a normal Saturday, unlike any other Saturday, nothing remarkable about it. Tom headed out. I'm sitting there in my jocks watching TV, expecting Tom to come home within the hour, as he normally did, getting ready to pour him whiskey. And the hour passed, no sign of Tom. 2 hours passed, no sign of Tom. Afternoon turned to evening to night, and I'm sitting there like a parent whose teenager has stayed out past curfew. I was ready to hit him with the whole, what time do you call this? And then, I don't know, maybe sometime a little bit before midnight, Tom comes home. And for the first time, he didn't come home like this. He came home seemingly happy. And I had to ask, was she crazy? Tom went, no. And I said, well, are you going to see her again? And Tom said, aye. And that was Tom and Venus's first date. And here we all are, 6 years later. Was it 6? Yes, 6 years later. And I think it's fair to say that first date probably went pretty well. So that's the real story of how they met. Now, I guess Tom did cover this in his speech, but I'm going to say it again. Just thanks to everybody who's made the effort to travel and come here. People from the Philippines and Canada, people from Ireland, Dubai, all over. People who've come even from G-Town to get here. The effort it takes to make these journeys, everything from the visas to the flights, everything. And we even know that some of the visas were pretty touch and go to get. Now, that's an unfortunate reality of just having the English deal with your visa situations. But everybody made it, and we're all delighted. And it's not lost on anybody, the effort it takes to get here, and it shows how much this means to everybody. So a toast to everybody who made the effort to come here today. We thank you all. And everybody who did come here, I'm sure, have a huge thank you to Tom and Venus for the amazing day they've put together so far. The day is still yet young, but as far as I can tell, everybody's having an amazing time. It's been brilliant. And what's also been brilliant has been see your relationship develop over the 6 years that I knew you in Dubai. Kind of like Tom, I'm not the most sociable lad, and I don't think we really helped each other get out there. And it was amazing to see, as Tom's relationship with Venus develop, Tom really kind of come out of his shell and really kind of bringing out the best in him. So congratulations. Yeah, sorry, hang on, I need to refer to my page, I'm losing my place. So it seems like it's been a fantastic relationship for Tom. I don't have the inside track for Venus, but I believe it's been the same for yourself. But it can't have been an easy relationship, and it's had some really unusual challenges. So much so that at times it seems like some great force has been trying to keep them apart. Working in Dubai can be really tough, and I know for the longest time at the start of their relationship, Venus and Tom were only able to see each other once a week. And even through that, they developed an incredibly strong and close relationship. And then when COVID happened, Venus had the unfortunate luck of being in the Philippines, the world went into lockdown, and it must have felt like you were on different sides of the world, because effectively you were. And then even after that, the Philippines government didn't want to let Venus come back. And they wanted to keep the relationship down. And like something out of a Liam Neeson movie, Tom had to fly over there and rescue her. But all your challenges you've overcome, and I believe have only made you stronger and closer for it. And as I was writing my speech and kind of looking back at, how much I know about you and your relationship, the role of chance and the bravery to take chances has really jumped out at me as something that I think you both have. And I think back to when Tom first moved out to Dubai, and he kind of moved out there with no prospects, sleeping on my floor. The bravery it takes to take a chance like that. And then the beauty of how that chance has paid off. Tom took a chance, not knowing what was going to happen. He met the love of his life, and here he is. And Venus probably taking the biggest chance of all, and the bravery it takes to marry into a family where you will never understand a word anybody says. But the more I've thought about that may be the smartest thing I've ever heard. Can you imagine not having to listen to your in-laws? And more appropriately, not having to listen to the herds. And I guess, speaking of the herds, I know Tom did mention his mom, Jasmine, who, while not here today, is certainly here in spirit. I met Jasmine only a few times, but every time I spoke to her, all she could talk about was just how proud she was of you. And from having kind of done the rounds today and spoken to a few people, how delighted she was to have met you, how crazy she was for you, and how happy she was for you that you met someone who made you so happy. So I will raise a toast to friends here and friends who couldn't be here, who are here in spirit, and to Tom and Venus. May your relationship and your marriage last long, see you both happy and healthy, and give you both the courage and the bravery to continue taking wild chances.
Thank you, Shane.
Cheers.
Hi everyone, good evening. This time, we all heard about Tom, and it is my honor to raise the flag for the bride. I know every one of you has this question, who is Venus? And let me have this honor and opportunity to introduce to you my friend and our family. I'm shaking. My name is Ira, and I had this pleasure to be Venus' best friend for the past 16 years. Yes, it is a 16 years of laughter, drama, inside jokes that I cannot count. When Venus asked me to be her maid of honor, it was such a great feeling to say yes to her. And then promptly given a list of detailed instructions to follow by her, by us, everyone. Instructions to plan for her bridal shower, apply for visa, and even for the things to do while we are here in the UK. As you see, Venus is not just like any bride. She is a bride who knows what she wants. In fact, she knew what she wants since I met her when we were high school. Back then, she had this concrete plan, what she wants to do in the future. She had this plan to work and move abroad, who to date, and even the eye color of a guy she would want to marry. That's your eyes. I have witnessed Venus to transform into an amazing woman she is today. She is fierce, very, yet gentle, strong, yet kind, and she is a badass, yet loving. To our Venus, in over 16 years of friendship, you have been my person, my sister, and my fighter. And I couldn't ask for more for a friend. You are smart, beautiful, and loyal. But above all, you're one of the most strongest person I know. So I want to take this opportunity to say I love you and thank you. And no words can describe how we are so happy for you today. This is your dream. And we know Thomas by your side. I've seen him love you. He is so kind and patient with you. I've seen him love you through the best and even with your worst. Like you just deserve. I know you will be all right. Now, just a little piece of reminder to Thomas. Today, we are giving you the best we could give. But remember, every move you make, every words you say, we are watching you. Here's to a lifetime love, happiness for Thomas and Venus. Thank you.
If there's somebody calling me We were